believe these two may have drawn into top 8 and only played 8 rounds of Standard. But it probably felt like 9 rounds of Standard.
Well, it looks like the head judge, Casey Prim, he's counting up the tallies right now. We'll hope to hear what he has to say. And there will not be a split, so
Someone's going for it.
time
Someone
to
has not
battle.
played enough
Magic today,
magic yet,
which
no.
is fair. I
Yeah,
think that's
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
In events like this, mainly you see a split between players in top 4, correct? That's really where the cash is kind of equalized out.
Yeah.
Everybody is fine. Here we still want to play for our points and get into it. So this
Yeah,
is...
if you know you got a good matchup, sometimes just go for it.
Yeah, I'm okay with that in top 8. Now, once again, depending on the event you're playing in, like if you're playing for some serious cash and everyone can get out of there at the top 8 and everyone's happy with their standings, get the hell out. Like don't mess around. Don't Tony Ortiz warrior spirit us through this top 8. Heaven help me. So in this matchup between these two decks, which do you think is favored? I mean, looking at the cards, the black-green Delirium deck just seems infinitely more powerful.
The black and green Delirium deck does have a lot of tools to go long, a lot of very powerful late game creatures that it can use to grind out
I mean,
a deck like Blue Red Reveler.
it does, doesn't it? I mean, this looks like there's creatures in here that set Alex's game back just a ton. Like Calidus, just great.
Yeah.
It with the life link, with the ability to sustain early on. Then he's got Verdurous Gearhulks, Ixkanas, even a Mind Rag Demon early enough can prove to be pretty fatal for someone who can't remove a 4/5. Like,
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I haven't seen a lot of Blue Red Reveler, so we'll see what Alex Pressing has cooked up to
of
maybe deal with this.
note, I believe it also won an IQ. Let me see what information I have for you. And I believe it did. I don't know the exact event, but I can pull it up here. It was the Star City Games Invitational Qualifier on the 9th. Mr. Bojanic, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, managed to place first with a list that may be fairly similar to what Alex has going on. The match is about to get underway here. You can hear the clanking of the chairs as the judges clean up the room. Thanks for a wonderful judge staff today. This has been a good event. Yeah, it's been a really good day of Magic. I mean, we also had a PPTQ top 8 that may still be going on.
I believe it is.
Jeez. I think Team Nerd Rage's Ben Miney managed to get into the top 8 of that, and he may be in the finals, actually, now that I look at it. I'm not quite sure if that's top 4, but we'll hopefully get an
Deciding
update
our mulligans here. Looks like we're keeping.
Ooh, already into the action.
Going to start off with an untapped land. And an Aether Hub.
There we go.
The other card that generates energy.
That's a popular card right now.
Yeah.
The Aether Hub.
Thing in the ice.
It's a pretty good early threat, right?
It's about as good as it gets.
I mean, Joe does have answers in the form of Murder, Grasp of Darkness. Both pretty powerful cards here.
If it survives, though, it's going to be the kind of tempo swing that I think Alex is looking for to close out the game before the Delirium deck gets online. There's Dynavolt Tower, I believe.
Yep. Now, Thing of Ice is an 0-4 when it's on its first fire? Okay.
Awoken Horror is, I believe, a 7/8?
7/8 or something like that? It's massive. This would be for 3. What do we got on the 3? Tireless Tracker would be decent here. Yeah, that's
Tireless
fine.
Tracker.
I like
going to play a land, get our clue.
I like the way Joe kind of played his lands out, too. I mean, he had a fast land into an untapped forest, which could have led to Sylvan Advocate. It could have led to Grim Flayer, like a number of threats. So he was kind of testing the waters to, I believe, see what Alex would kind of play out. But like you mentioned, Alex has strictly a tempo plan. Like, he wants to do one thing and one thing only. He wants to kill the Black-Green Delirium deck before it has a chance of generating any type of value.
We have sick Arcane Post clues on the battlefield.
Yeah, oh yeah. And a Harness Lightning going to take care of the Tireless Tracker.
Going to have an
We had an energy off Aether Hub, right?
Yes, we're going to have, I believe, an energy left over from the
Holy
Harness Lightning,
cow.
and 3 off Aether Hub.
And now this is, I guess, a pretty good spot. I mean, we're forcing the cracking of the clues already,
Joe's
which is
digging.
decent. Rasp.
Gonna go ahead and grasp the thing in the ice.
I'm assuming getting that thing of the ice out of there was probably something that needed to be done sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. There's not too many targets for Grasp of Darkness in Alec Pressing's deck anyway, so no reason not to fire it off. Tormenting Voice?
This is nice.
Get rid of some land. Maybe draw better cards.
Finds a Dynavolt Tower and another Harness Lightning, it looked like.
I'll play the Tower Defense game.
Holy cow. So does this deck benefit in any way from running out multiple towers?
You get more energy for each spell you cast.
I guess that's true,
And you can
yeah.
bolt more than one thing a turn. Kill larger threats.
Apologize for the glare. That's a Mind Rack Demon played by Joe Bernal there. A 4/5 flyer with trample. That if he does not meet Delirium, pings him for 1, cause him to lose a life?
Cause him to lose 4
4
life, I
life?
believe.
4 life. So
Delirium shouldn't be a problem, though.
I wouldn't think so. We've already got creature.
So we don't have it yet. We have instant, creature, and land. So he might be taking 4 this turn.
I think that's a fair trade-off for playing a pretty powerful creature.
And usually it's a pretty safe bet to play the Mind Rack Demon in the Delirium deck.
Yeah.
Joe Bernal just got a little bit unlucky, but that happens. Oh, he's not going to take 4.
Wow.
Alex Pressing bailing him out.
This Harness Lightning really, that was interesting. Harness Lightning only can go 2 creatures, correct? Alex may be forcing that out a little early. It looks like he's got a Bedlam Reveler in hand. So we may be trying to get the
Trying
Reveler
to empty
out.
our hand.
Yep.
For maximum value.
I really like this deck. This Blue-Red Reveler deck is really cool.
Joe Bernal seems stuck with a lot of removal in hand.
I wonder if he doesn't feel safe activating the Quagmires. I mean, it's probably.
I mean, they're going to get bolted.
Yeah.
There's
I guess the towers do make the manlands a little worse, huh?
Yeah.
Fanning out.
Depends on the creature land, I guess. Your Lumbering Falls are still safe.
That's true. Or what's the... Oh, here we go. That's some action. Pressing with no counter magic?
I guess not.
Liliana gonna tick down.
Trying to find a creature back?
Yeah.
Yeah, seems good.
Seems pretty strong.
And we have Delirium now with the Planeswalker, I believe.
Wow. That was nice.
We have Archipos Spider tokens as well.
Does he have them too, or are those just the clues? They look like the clues still.
No, the clue is that thing.
Oh,
I don't know if that's actually a spider, but it's a distinct token.
that's true. So we're casting... What's the new blue draw spell? It's Glimmer, right?
Glimmer of Genius.
Glimmer of Genius, okay. That was close. I was going to say Glimmer of Hope. So this netted him 2 energy off the Glimmer, and
2
then...
energy, a scry 2, and a draw 2.
And how much energy does he net off the Dynavolts? 1 apiece?
2 piece, I believe.
Holy shit. That's pretty good.
It's all energized up.
Oh my god. This is nuts. Man, what if we get an Aether Revolt red board wipe that you can spend your energy on like a Comet Storm? Well, Liliana's dead.
Take care of Liliana.
Yeah. Do we have a way to deal with Ishkana here too?
It's probably going to take multiple spells, I imagine. The
Okay.
Harness Lightning can kill Ishkana with all this energy.
Harness Lightning definitely did kill Ishkana. Wow, this is great. So when you cast Harness Lightning, you get 3 energy. Each of the towers
Correct.
gave him 4, so he got a max of 7.
Yes.
And those triggers resolve before he has to choose how much he's going to pay for.
This is correct.
Oh, God,
Radiant Flame's gonna
he
sweep up
can.
the spiders.
Gosh.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. Game 1. That's gonna go to Alex Pressing in the Dynavolt Tower deck. Yo, this deck is great. What do we feel like? We feel like that's pretty good. We feel like that was an all right. I didn't even see
I felt like it was a
a good
strong
showing.
showing for the Blue Reveler deck, yes.
I mean, Bernal's life total didn't change, and then he just scooped up his cards. Like, you're still at 20. He's just like, nah, I'm done.
He probably felt like the engine was online to a point where he's going to have trouble coming back from
I'd,
that.
I'd, I'd have to agree with you. I didn't know if,
Multiple towers can kill most of his creatures,
sure,
just incidentally.
man. You want to go to sideboards?
Alright.
You want to do the sideboard for the Reveler deck?
Alright, I will start off with... so we have 1 Radiant Flames, 2 Torrential Gearhulk, 4 Fevered Visions, 2 Ceremonious Rejections, 2 Negates, 2 Summary Dismissal, and 2 Chandra Flamecaller.
What do you want to bring in? Any ideas?
I'm not sure. Gearhulk might be good if he wants to go long.
Yeah,
Fever Visions might be a strong clock against the Delirium deck that will tend to have trouble playing out all its more expensive cards.
sure.
I don't think Ceremonious Rejection comes in. I don't think Negate comes in, probably. Summary Dismissal, also probably not. Chandra's probably going to have trouble killing the creatures
Yeah.
at a certain point, and I wouldn't imagine it's worth playing, but I don't know.
So I'm gonna I don't know if I want to. Part of me wants to disagree with you only because I don't know if I want to give. I don't know if I want to play Fevered Visions and give the Black Green Delirium deck like a reason to start chucking things into the yard. Like, yeah, it may not benefit him that much, and he doesn't. Joe doesn't play Key to the City or any way to really like cycle cards out of his hand. I just don't know if I want to retain our initial game plan. In which case, I think bring in like the torrential gear hulks, and I actually think bringing in the negates are okay too. We know this black green delirium deck's playing a ton of non-creature spells. Like he's got a bunch, and I'm sure he's got more from the side.
Sure, but are there non-creature spells that you need to hold up Negate for, do you feel?
Like anything that destroys artifacts, I think is I'm pretty concerned about coming out of the sideboard. And now, once again, if we take a look at the black green delirium list, we see in the sideboard, we see 2 natural states, 2 appetite for the unnatural, 1 Ishkanograph Widow, 1 Verdurous Gearhulk, 3 Ruinous Path, 4 Transgress the Mind, and 2 Pick the Brain. So once again, I mean, even the sideboard only has 2 additional creatures, and essentially 13 other non-creature spells. So even then, I feel like negate is still pretty powerful here, at least to protect the overall shell. Whether we decide to go for the Fevered Visions plan in the sideboard, which may be because, like you were saying, the Black Green Delirium deck can't run all of its threats out.
Yeah.
It has no way to really pitch cards from its hand. The negate's even stronger then because he's gonna be tempted to hurriedly rush away to get rid of the enchantment, right? I mean,
There's no new scrap.
no, I don't believe so.
Okay. So yeah,
It's Tireless Tracker, Sylvan Advocates,
sure.
Grim Flayers, none of which, like you said,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Newscraft, which is a super popular card once again, is as the Emerge decks are even looking at like Sultai Emerge, ways to pitch your prized amalgams and things like that. I just think having the negate, now granted that could be the counter spell king talking in me, but like it's just I mean, there was a part of me while you were saying the deck list too, where I thought summary dismissal would probably be good, and now I don't agree with that now after we've kind of gone through the list. But I like that card, so I don't know. Once again, you're right. It's hard to say whether or not it actually deserves a place in the deck because I don't know what Alex can technically trim. Like Glimmer, the Glimmer seems a little slow here. I don't know what else he's got that. I mean, maybe cutting like the one up substantiate.
Yeah, a lot of the one-ofs seem like he's kind of unsure whether he's going to need them in any matchup anyway. So maybe
And that's a
maybe those
little
are planning to come out.
it's a little too toolboxy for me. I think in a deck like this, like I'm okay with some of the draw spells, and like I think I would rather have consistency in my blue-red tempo deck. You know what I
How do you
mean?
feel about take inventory?
I don't know. I, that's the draw a card and then draw an additional card for each take inventory you have in your graveyard.
Correct.
Like, if you want my honest opinion, I feel like Wizards of the Coast needs to stop printing cards that are worse versions of older cards. I like, you know what I mean? In a rune snag
In most
fashion.
games, it's going to be the same as what was the catalog?
Oh, sure.
Was the
You know what they should have printed is they should have printed Thirst for Knowledge. Is that the one blue, two colorless instant that let you draw three cards and then discard two unless you discard an
that
artifact?
seems powerful in an artifact set.
Yeah, it seems
Like
super good.
very too powerful.
Really? At an uncommon level? I mean, it's not perilous research. Like a perilous research would have been okay too. I don't know. I feel like the draw spells. Here's the issue: the draw spells are either going to cost more and be worse, but be at instant speed, or they're going
Hmm.
to cost less, be worse, and be at sorcery speed. And like you kind of have to take your beatings, I guess. Can we get like dig through time back?
You know, when Dig Through Time came out, people complained it wasn't Sphinx's Revelation. Just gonna
It's
throw
true.
that out there.
That's true.
So
Which it isn't. Which
maybe,
it's not.
maybe some of these draw spells we just haven't figured out yet.
Which is probably fair.
Control was dead when Dig Through Time came out because we didn't have Sphinx's Revelation just go immediately over the top of anyone. There was nothing Control could do.
We were limited. You
It
know
was
what? I had treasure cruises. I had dig through times, and it still wasn't good enough. It'll never be good enough.
Ancestral Recall just not good enough.
Where is my zero draw four? I mean, how funny! You're totally right, though. I mean, it's pretty hilarious. But I guess to answer your question in all seriousness, I do like Glimmer of Genius. I think that card is actually very playable.
Yeah.
4 mana seems hefty, but just like you said, with the amount of energy cards that are running around this format now, and now that we've kind of had time for players to see what energy is capable of, that card looks extremely playable.
It it certainly does because you were never like upset to play Read the Bones,
No,
and
not at all.
having it be cost one more and be an instant is
It's-
usually worth it.
Yes, I agree. I totally agree. Even the black energy draw card that's kind of replaced Read the Bones now, I don't think that one's as bad either. I mean, black can't.
Live fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, they're not using energy as well as this blue red deck, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's still pretty good. So we'll see players here. Game number 2, Alex up one game over Joe Bernal, and I believe Joe took a mulligan.
I think he just hasn't picked up those cards yet.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Does he have 7?
I count 7, but I'm not that
Okay.
great at counting. So.
Yeah, it's a little hard to see, but he'll lead off with the Hissing Quagmire.
People that didn't pre-reg for the main event, but you want your playmat, you should get that full pack.
I'm gonna transgress the mind. Let's see
Uh,
what Alex is working with.
Oh, so he did. He brought in the fevered
He
visions.
brought in the Fever Visions.
Oh no. Oh gosh.
Oh, you didn't value your feedback.
Oh.
There's 2 Fever Visions.
Yep.
Is that an Incendiary Flow?
That's Bedlam Reveler.
Bedlam River.
A Dynavolt Tower is the next one. And I think we're looking at land after that. Is that correct?
That looks right.
This is Fevered Visions, Bedlam Reveler, Dynavolt Tower, and I believe land. So you take one of the visions here. I'm
Looks like
assuming-
that's what Joe's leaning toward.
What's that?
Looks like that's what Joe's leaning toward.
Mm.
Taking one of the visions.
Yeah, we're not really playing favorites here in the chat, but yes, watching Alex Pressig take this down would be great.
So in a way, we're totally playing favorites, is what you're saying.
Well, I said we weren't because I didn't know if you were, but
Oh, okay.
but yes, I definitely am.
Bedlam River Fever Vision's kind of a nombo.
Yeah,
Come to think
right.
of it, you're gonna draw a bunch of cards and then discard your hand. But I guess if you're drawing even more cards,
Oh,
maybe
you
you don't
just
even care.
drew another
We
fevered
have
visions.
more Fever Visions.
Good lord. The fever never ends.
I guess not.
hmm
What?
This is a card that just won't go away, and I'm tired
And
of.
shouldn't go away. I love Sylvan Advocate.
You do, don't you? Card's very good. I think that's
I was
why
gonna
I'm so mad at it. Like, Green's getting all the good cards these days.
oh, getting
Sylvan
in.
Advocate. Finally, we've seen. This is the first time we've
Gonna
had to change life totals here.
tap the Advocate.
Ooh. Oh, jeez. Dropping the hammer. And now it doesn't punish Alex to have additional cards besides having to discard, correct?
Correct. It only damages opponents for having too many cards. Advocate's gonna bash again.
Oh boy. Joe Bernal. Now having to figure out what spells we're going to cast.
Uh,
Oh, never
Seems
mind.
like we're not gonna cast any spells. And that's... Oh, no. We found one. Appetite for the Unnatural.
Yep.
Gonna get some of our life back.
We get 2 off that, I
Still have
believe.
to draw. Correct. No.
Mm-hmm.
Pitch Involving Wilds.
You think it's clear now for Alex to throw out the tower? Now that the one appetite's gone? I mean, we can assume there's another one, but...
I mean, artifact... All of his artifact removal is also enchantment removal. And there's already a target out.
Right.
So the floor is pretty high
Sure.
as far as deploying additional.
So this is your catalog, correct?
I believe so.
So he's going to get 2
Take
energy.
inventory.
Take inventory? Is that what it's... For some reason, I thought it
That's
was
a new one.
catalog.
It's probably because I told you that I believe catalog was the...
You're
old
right, you're
version.
right, you're right.
It's catalog, but just for you.
So Fever Vision's here now doing some work. The slow burn.
Nope, nope,
Yeah.
it's not.
Wow.
It is also going to get eaten by a monkey.
Jeez. So it's interesting that Joe decided to take out the Fever Visions and not the Dynavolt Tower. I wonder, is there... Fever Vision's just harder to beat?
It probably is, I would imagine. It has more inevitability, certainly.
Yeah.
With Dynavolt Tower, at least he might run out of spells.
hmm
If there's a Fever Visions in play, he's never going to run out of spells.
This is true. You're at least, I guess, playing the odds, right?
Yeah.
Verdurous Gear Hulk. Oh, jeez. Wow. So I guess I was wrong about the summary dismissal,
I guess.
because that's what just
Yeah.
happened.
It is.
We just, not only did we we exiled the ability and exiled the creature.
Alex Presley seems keeping track of his energy off screen.
That kind of sucks for us. Yep.
Looking pretty good now. 2 mana draw 2.
Yeah, it is. Especially when it just refills his hand with more such a pitch. I wonder if he dropped out the tormenting voices. I would assume he would have
That's
kept those
possible.
in, but maybe if he's bringing in the summary
If you're-
dismissals. I guess
I don't know.
summary dismissal is actually better than I thought. Because if we catch an Ishkana or like a Mind Rack Demon, don't we catch every? Well, Ishkana's enter the battlefield, so
Correct.
yeah. I guess we're
But it is a answer to dangerous threats from the
right.
Black Green Delirium deck.
Oh,
We're gonna
we got
pick the
another
brain.
summary dismissal in hand.
Let's see what we're gonna take. Oh, not gonna take anything. We're gonna get summary dismissal.
It's happening.
Nope, we're actually, in fact, going to pick the brain.
Oh,
Joe Bernal insists.
jeez, he's really going for it.
And I believe we have Delirium.
Which allows the surgical extraction of Bedlam
Yeah.
Revelers at this point.
So we're gonna find all the Bedlam Marvers and take them out. He should find 2 more. Looks like the Chandra's Urn as well.
Really?
Chandra Flamecaller.
Huh.
So maybe he was trying to go bigger.
He has met Delirium, hasn't he?
Yes.
He's got creature,
Yeah.
land.
He was only missing 1, and he didn't have a creature, and now he has a
Gotcha.
creature. There's a sorcery and instant in a land.
So now the Revelers are gone. Alex is going to have to rely on this tower here to kind of pull things through.
He's lost a lot of his card advantage.
Yeah.
Incidentally, that's seems to be Joe's plan here. Removing the fevered visions and extracting the revelers.
We're going to activate a Funeral here. Seems like a safe attack, right? Because we can get in for 4.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like this.
it's mana intensive, but if you got none to do, you may as well.
I mean, I actually like the fact that Alex kind of forced Joe in a position where he had to tap down to play defensively that last turn. So this will be a 1. Are we going to try to pick the brain again? How many of these things do we have? A 2. Traverse is what we're doing here.
Yep. Gonna go find a spider.
Yep. No summary dismissal for that.
I'm not gonna lie, Ishkana, one of my favorite traversial and wild targets.
Yeah. It's a pretty good target. I mean, there's.
Probably second only to basic forest.
Yeah. Oh, now the question is, does Alex have a way to get rid of this? I guess he can pull the old. I'm going to gain energy off my Aether Hub. We don't know how much energy he has currently, but it's definitely possible. By the way, I feel a little offended. We're streaming the top 8 of this SCG regional, and they're playing the Pro Tour up there. They're not even playing our stream.
That's ridiculous.
It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal.
It's possible they don't want the players to be able to look on the
that's
screen
true.
from where they're sitting
It's true.
and
Kinda-
see each other's hands.
Just saying.
It's just a possibility.
Right. Is Ishkana going to get aggressive here?
I imagine that's what Ishkana's for. The spiders can always block or trade with the funeral if they need to.
I think my favorite thing about this is there could be a point in which we see Ishkana's ability actually get activated, which would blow my mind.
We're only 1 mana away.
I know. The dream's real.
The spiders are coming.
Sound the alarm, because so far this is pretty sweet. Oh, Radiant Flames in hands for Alex, so
Well, that's handy.
it is nice.
Comes Liliana. Looks to be resolving. Ooh. Getting the big dice for us, thank you very much.
What are we
Let's
gonna
see if
get
he wants
back?
a backup spider or a Sylvan
No,
Advocate.
the advocate makes sense.
It does.
I think we're fine with just.
It's gonna be playing into Radiant Flames a little bit.
But I mean, what are you gonna spend the mana to kill the Sylvan Advocate, or are you gonna spend the mana on the Dynavolt Tower to kill the Ishkana with the
Well,
Radiant
you
Flames?
can Radiant Flames for 3 with
Yeah.
your Aether Hubs, and then finish off Ishkana, assuming he has enough energy. And I have no idea if he does because it's off screen.
Here's the attack.
Looks like he's gonna hold back 2 spiders just in case.
Oh, so we're gonna activate Ephemeral in defense mode. I like that.
I mean, if you're not doing anything else with the mana, it's free life.
What do we block here? The Ishkana, or are we?
I think we take the risk on Ishkana, yeah.
I mean, just
It
putting.
opens us up a little bit to if he had something like a dead weight, but
Yeah. Ooh, was that another take inventory? Jeez, look at the mana. Matt Hausler saying you should have taken Ishkana number 2.
I mean, he's probably right. Ooh, we're paying 2 mana to draw 3 cards now.
This is getting better.
Confirming that there are in fact 2 of those cards in the graveyard. There's Chandra.
Oh, jeez.
Let's see if it's her time to shine. Chandra Flamecaller, I should say. Are
She
there
can.
two Chandra Flamecallers in the hand?
Can she come out and kill the board or not? She doesn't start with 5, does she?
She starts with 4, so she would not be able to kill the Sylvan Advocate or Ishkana. She could combine with Radiant Flames to kill the board, if that's in hand.
But that's mana intensive, right?
It's 9 mana, but he might have it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is what we got right now.
I believe he's 8. But yes, still not enough.
Oh, yeah, you're right. And you can't wait, unfortunately, right?
I mean, he's not actual dead, but I wouldn't suggest waiting.
He is technically at 13. Forgot the spider ping. Joe Bernal, very interested in Pressig's graveyard.
I would be too. There's a lot of very interesting things in Pressig's graveyard.
That's a spooky place to be.
You play the Black Green Delirium deck, you gotta pay attention to graveyards.
That's true.
Your opponent's nearly as much as your own. So
Okay.
we're gonna play Chandra. I imagine we're gonna take care of some spiders. Perhaps use Burn in Hand to finish off some of the more threatening creatures.
I guess the other course of action here is we plus the Chandra, right? Become aggressive with the 3/1s that she makes, have him block, and then use the Dynavolt Tower to kill the Sylvan Advocate? Is that fine, or?
I mean, he would need to block with the Sylvan Advocate with the Dynavolt Tower on board
Right.
and know that was coming. He may just trade with the spiders. Looks like Chandra's just going to burn out some spiders. Dynavolt Tower is going to finish off, I imagine, Sylvan Advocate, but we'll see. Sylvan Advocate.
So we managed to wipe the board.
We did. Chandra's dead on the way back from that hissing quagmire, which looks to be coming right straight in. Maybe not. It's definitely strongly considering rumbling.
I mean, the consensus today, I believe, amongst most players that I talk to, Big Chandra better than Torch of Defiance right now.
I can see that. Though there's two big Chandras. There are three Chandras in Standard. You can play Pyro Genius.
Not that one. No one likes
I
that
saw
one.
someone playing Pyro Genius.
No, you
I
didn't.
did.
Stop. Did they have the card that fetched her up too?
I don't know.
Oh,
All I saw
brutal.
was a Pyro Genius in hand.
Absolutely brutal. 9 to 13 are the life totals. I mean, these guys are essentially just answering one another at this point, correct? This is a fairly.
Seems to be that way. Alex is going to be pulling ahead, I have to imagine, at some point because just of how many land drops Joe's ended up missing.
The scary part is, I mean, Joe's on a pretty big tell right here with this Liliana out that he does, in fact, have a Grasp of Darkness up. Now, whether or not that's true and he does actually have one in hand, I don't know, but
I mean, I think it's worth risking the funeral to find out.
I agree with you, actually. I think that's a fine attack. Instead, we're going to gain a total of 4 energy. And another Chandra. Gosh.
Chandra's going to come in.
This is how he got into the top 8. The same exact way. He just kept playing Chandras and crushing his opponents with 3-1s.
That's a pretty strong plan.
No, it is. It's just it's a that's it. Alex Pressing is going to take this 2-0 over Joe Bernal. And I'm not kidding. That was the same way that he got into his top 8 matches. He just played a Chandra, had Dynavolt Tower up,
Yeah.
and then actually I think he had a Fevered Visions online as well. Oh, jeez. Well, good game to Joe Bernal. That Black Green Delirium deck looked pretty good. He did miss a considerable amount of land drops,
He
though.
did. Alex Pressig takes it in two.
Man, what a good match. I like this deck. This Blue-Red Deviler deck is great. This thing is sweet. I did actually just call it a Deviler because I'm so used to pressing playing Delver that it's like the same deck.
It is a Reveler that is a devil.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's like
true.
a devil reveler. I
It's
don't know.
it's a Devil Reveler. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with you guys next for top 4, so make sure you stay tuned. So far, so good.
See you then.
Nerd Rage Gaming is proud to announce the NRG Championship Trials, a tournament series featuring monthly $1,000 cash events with rotating formats. These events allow players to experience higher-level tournaments close to home. A point structure that is easy to understand for both new and professional players. And finally, to top it off, a 16-person $2,500 championship event at the end of the year, utilizing a unique tournament structure. Be sure to stay tuned to social media for information regarding NRG Championship Trials.